Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. So obviously the video yesterday we were talking about this big new announcement that it seems like TSM, or at least the rumors are that TSM has a new support coming in, and a lot of us were just caught very off guard. It was kind of a random signing. A lot of people had never heard of this guy and we didn't know what to think. But now we're all having some time to digest it. In this video today, I wanted to go over some more thoughtful takes and kind of go over the community opinion about this new support, Mia, or Maya, or whatever for TSM, but then also talk about the mid lane situation as well, because that seems like the last kind of piece missing for this summer 2022 TSM roster, and maybe we have a little bit more of an idea where they could be looking at as far as mid lane options go. So definitely drop a like if you guys do enjoy this video. I would appreciate that so much. The videos with more likes just do better. It helps me out a ton, actually. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content, and consider checking out the first link in the description below for the Patreon if you want to help support me, my channel, and my content on there as well. With that being said, let's get right into this. And for a rare occasion, I actually want to start on the TSM subreddit. I think overall, TSM subreddit is a pretty horrible place. I think it's pretty toxic. I think they are not very welcoming. I think they have a lot of weird random takes. I think it's moderated weirdly. You know, generally, I try to avoid it. I check in every once in a while to keep up on news. Obviously, that's a big thing of what I do, staying on top of the news and everything. But I actually think they had some very, very good comments and some funny comments regarding this Mia signing. So I did want to show those to you guys at least. I was making sure my mic wasn't muted real quick because we had that problem the other day. So here we go. They posted this, sources support Mia to join TSM in the LCS. They posted Wooloo's kind of rumor and his article and everything. First comment, I absolutely agree with, probably one of the most random signings ever. This came out of nowhere, which I do agree. This was not a name that had been thrown around at all. We had heard LS say, hey, maybe TSM's going to go for Koreans, but I hadn't heard anyone say Mia. I hadn't heard this name thrown around. I'm honestly still pretty surprised they didn't stay with Shen Yi at this point. Again, he was a hyped prospect, an expensive prospect. To me, it's crazy they're moving on from him after just a split, especially for not an also very, very hyped and exciting prospect. But hey, whatever. Obviously, there was a lot of issues at TSM. Obviously, Shen Yi had his own kind of drama and shortcomings and stuff. We'll see. Yeah, I don't know. But yes, this guy says zero synergy, zero hype, zero reason, zero faith in this org. And this is crazy that this is the TSM subreddit. And this is the most upvoted comments on this. Very, very negative. And that just kind of shows you the state of TSM right now, the state of the TSM fan base. It's overall not looking good. This was kind of funny as well. We said first TSM lost, now TSM Mia or MIA. What's next? TSM sucks? And I thought that was funny. That's a good comment. Also, best of luck to him, to be honest, but it's pretty funny that this guy is well known in Champions Queue, and we'll get into that in a second. But the only two players on TSM that grinded Champions Queue were Takeover and Shen Yi, who both are getting replaced. So, hey, that is kind of funny. Good observation there. I thought that was funny as well. And we'll get into Mia's Champions Queue stats and all that stuff, because I think that is definitely something I missed in yesterday's video. This is funny. Budget signing. Reggie's house must be like 30K. Hey, Reggie's talking all about, I will never let us become CLG. I'll sell my house, my car, my clothes, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, Reggie, you just had a 9th place, 10th place, whatever you want to call it, team last split. And so far, barring some crazy mid laner or something, you maybe downgraded at the support position, maybe upgrade a little bit, but I don't know. Is getting Mia going to turn this team into like a world's contender? I don't think so, and I don't think a lot of other people think so either. And then we had this, which I thought was kind of interesting. This guy kind of broke down his Leaguepedia. He said his last 2 splits were in the LLA, but he's of Korean residency, so he's going to take up an import slot. That we knew, that we talked about. He finished second in both summer 2021 and spring 2022, losing the finals both times. Obviously, we talked about that. This is some of the interesting stuff. They said he seems to speak some English based on his team's mic check. Checking his Twitter, I wouldn't say his English is fluent, but he probably knows at least league speak. He says in summer 2021, he had 1 player of the game and was not on the All-Pro team. Seems like the LLA only has 1 All-Pro team, not second or third team. So again, just based on the voting or whatever, he wasn't the best support in LLA in summer of 2021. Who knows? His AD carry won the award for best foreign player. And then in summer of 2022, he also only had 1 player of the game, but this guy wasn't able to find anything on the All-Pro. And then this guy says the only positive to take for him is that he was top 10 in Champions Queue all split, even though the LLA players play from 100 plus ping in Mexico City. Kind of interesting. I have his Champions Q stuff here. So, yes, right now, at least from this website, championsq.com, they have him as 7th place in Champions Q, EST, Maya, whatever. 635 LP, 53% win rate, which isn't that crazy. I mean, it's not bad. 53 is good, but it's not that bad. 257 games, which is like a solid amount of games, but again, it's not like, super grinding Champions Q. You can see like JoJo has 330, Ole has 345, Kaori has 373. He has 257, which is a good amount of games. But, yes, 7th place in Champions Q is great, but you can also see that, like, hey, RJS was 6th. RJS is above him. I think win rate matters way more, at least to me. And if you take a look at win rate, you can see he's 31st in win rate. So maybe that paints a little bit better of a picture. Again, he obviously has the ping disadvantage, but just based off Champions Q, I haven't really heard too much about him being crazy. But this is what Doublelift had to say about him, which is kind of interesting and has people talking.
Mia replaces Shen Yi, Sag. Oh, his team finished 2nd in Latin America. I gotta say, Mia is actually really good. I could totally see Mia being one of the better supports in LCS, top 5 for sure.
So, kind of interesting. That's at least Doublelift's opinion. Doublelift thinks he's good. Doublelift thinks he could be top 5, which, like, could be top 5. It's not that, like, glowing of a, he's not saying he's, like, amazing or awesome or cracked or anything, but Doublelift thinks he's pretty good. I will say, just because Doublelift was a good pro doesn't mean he's a good scout or evaluator of talent or anything like that. Definitely very different skill sets, but at least wanted to throw that in there. But again, I don't know. Overall, I think a lot of people are unimpressed. I think a lot of people are depressed by the signing of Mia, but that's just kind of where things are at. And then we also had this from Amazing. He said, I genuinely can't see anything that is remotely TSM about these moves. The way TSM has historically done things, signing usually top-tier EU and NA talent mixed with the rare rookie signings. The rosters felt balanced. There was identity to them. They made sense for the most part. 2020 being an outlier with Kabe feels bad, man. And yeah, now, TSM just doesn't even know what they're doing. They're going LDL players one split. They're going Korean players the next split. Not really anybody too hype, crazy, exciting, spending a lot of money, now trying to save money. Who knows? It's a disaster for TSM, but does get us to the mid lane rumors, and Skeleton had tweeted out this, love, hate, Skeleton, whatever. You think he's a fraud, you think he actually knows stuff, think he doesn't. Hey, I'm just getting this message out to you guys. He says, I have a lot of names for the TSM's new mid from a lot of different people, and it's very hard to pin anything down, but real talk, the name that keeps coming up the most is Mask. Keep an eye on it. And the people who replied to this are actually pretty excited about that. I don't follow the challenger Korean scene very much, Korean academy teams and stuff like that. Hardly at all. I know maybe the very top prospects, especially if they're, hyped up and stuff a lot. But this guy says, unlike Kaido, Mask was one of the very best LCK Challenger League players. Maybe this team will be competitive. This guy says, to be honest, when I watched some LCK Challengers League games in 2021, Mask was smurfing hard. So it actually seems like this guy could be pretty interesting. Here he is. He's a 21-year-old Korean mid laner. Most recently, he was with KT Challengers. He's been with Hanwha Life Challengers. He's been with Runaway before. And he was a trainee with SKT T1 from December 2018 to May 2019. So it actually seems like this guy might have a little bit of pedigree. This guy might actually be a decent little Korean prospect. And again, this would fit in line with what LS was saying, that TSM's starting to look at more and more Koreans. And in some ways, maybe this is TSM getting better. I don't know. Maybe this is actually a solid mid laner to build around, because I do still think that mid lane is such a foundational piece, to build around. But I also, even if it is Mask, and even if he is really good and cracked or whatever, I still don't think it explains too much of what's going on with TSM. They go from team speaking Mandarin or whatever, they're all in on China, they're all in on the LDL, and then just after a single split, now they're all in on Korean players, and then Huni and Spica have expiring contracts, and then what are they going to do in top lane? What are they going to do in jungle? Like, there's still so many questions, and we still have no idea how good this team's even going to be or anything like that. So maybe it's going to be Mask, maybe it's going to be some other Korean mid laner. I do think that the fact that it seems like, at least, again, we don't know, but I think the consensus is that TSM went pretty cheap with Mia at support. He's probably not super expensive, probably didn't have a crazy buyout, nothing like that. I think that means that Jensen will most likely not be happening in the mid lane. Jensen is an expensive player. He's had, obviously he's a free agent now, so you can negotiate whatever contract you want, but historically he's had one of the highest salaries in the LCS. I'm sure he's not going to take a pay cut or nothing like that to come to TSM, especially with all the drama, the craziness, and the fact that they're coming off a 9th place split. Maybe Maple, maybe Mask. I don't know. Again, Wooloo said there will be a change in the mid lane, which makes it sound like it's not Kaido, it's not Takeover, nothing like that. I don't know who all the options are. You know, maybe it'll be a Korean player in the LCK on a lower tier team. Maybe it'll be a Challenger League Korean player. Again, could be a Chinese player, could be an LDL player. We don't really know at this point, but Mask is one of the new names being thrown around, at least by Skeleton, and it seems like people are pretty hyped up and excited about that, so we will have to wait and see. But just kind of wanted to talk about all things TSM, give some updated thoughts and opinions on Mia, and get some of these mid lane rumors out to you guys as well, because again, I think Hooney's staying, I think Speak is staying, I think Tactical's staying, we think Mia's the support. Mid lane is the missing piece at this point, and I'm not sure if there's a mid laner that could really make me too excited about this team, because again, if you're not competing for a world spot, I don't really care too much, and this was a 9th place team. Maybe there'll be a 7th place team, 6th place team, 5th place team. I don't know. But yeah, good luck to TSM. It seems like the fans are not happy, not too excited. It seems like the players, you know, throughout much of Spring Split weren't too happy, weren't too excited. The environment's bad. Reggie is, you know, kind of distancing himself from things, showing that he cares less and less. It's dark times for TSM right now. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Tell me, drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate that so much. Leave a comment down below letting me know what you think about TSM right now. Do you think Mia was a good pickup? Do you think Mask would be cool? Do you have a different idea for mid lane? I don't know. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then.